You don't have any fights this week? Oh man, we gotta have some fights.
Back to the show, the Wednesday show. Asylum, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay considering, but I think there was positives out of this game. I think there was some positives.
Yeah, I know.
To talk about.
Yeah, I know, but you're over there. You're over there in the middle of all that garbage that they call Kansas City, or you're in Kansas, but you're there. You're in the area where all those Kansas City Kermit fans are over there. It's probably celebrating, even though we beat ourselves. But that's.
Oh no, and trust me, we made that. I made that clear. We didn't, they didn't beat us. We beat us.
Yeah, so we will talk about it, of course. And it's kind of like, what can you say? What can you do? It is what it is. But we got to talk about it, and we're gonna, make. I guess. Dig deep and see what really went wrong and what we positives. It's not a hard show, but it's a hard show. But anyways,
it's only a hard show because it was another loss that we let get away. I mean, another win that we let get away.
Yeah, and we could have been the only team to beat them in since Christmas, and then So, but before we get into anything, we got to do our favorite segment. I said it right this time. And that is, I'm trying to get everything in order, and here we go. That is the shameless plug. Here we go.
All right, everybody, go to the YouTube channel, The Cage Match Show. Like, share, subscribe, give a thumbs up. That way we're always in the algorithm, like you guys kept us with that little Max Crosby thing we had going on. And why don't you go ahead and hit that bell? That way every time we drop a new short or video, and you could be able to catch it. And when we're done with all this, why don't you go ahead and go to WGG? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, go ahead. We'll do this. WGG, scout what they got. We're going to get somebody on here who's tried it, and she's going to let us know what she thinks eventually. When you're done, go to the discount code, put Cage Match, one word, and get 10% off your whole order.
And I usually say, when you think of wins, you think of dubs. And I know it's been hard the last couple of 4 games because we have 4 losses in a row. But when you think of wins, think of dubs. When you think of dubs, think of WGG. Go there, 10% off your whole order. CAGEMATCH, one word, Cage Match. And shouts out to the Compa. Compa, my knee. Sorry. Sorry. All right, I'm back. Compa Fabian. Go to www.rn. The number 4, lifer.com. Go there, check out his stuff. Go check out his catalog. He has great merch, and like I always say, I only wear hats from the man himself. Shouts out to Fabian, and look at I got my. If you want to asylum, okay, we have your the sticker
No,
though.
I don't want the stick. I want the real thing. I want the real thing. I've earned the real thing. God damn it! I've earned it.
Go there to his website, check his stuff out. He got great stuff over there. And also, shouts out to RaiderMan19. Go to RaiderMan19.com, the Raiderman from Richmond podcast. You know what? I think I'm going to, I got to call him, and I think I'm going to have to produce a show to make sure he gets out there. Because I know Raiderman has a lot to say. We need to get him on the show. Shouts out to Raiderman out there. He's a busy man right now. But shout him out. He's at the end of our intro. You hear that, the Raider Oath. And that's one thing we're trying to do is get him to the torch to do the Raider Oath in front of 65,000 people inside Allegiant Stadium. That is the Oakland Mystique with the Las Vegas Raider way as the mega powers combine. Oh, yeah. Get that going. Get this team fired up. And also, Asylum, what were you going to say?
Oh yeah, you can catch us on if Roger Goodell, we go on his bed, we're not whispering that name no more. Tries to interrupt this. You can always catch us on Facebook, on the Oakland Raiders Savage page, or Asylum page, or sometimes on some other pages.
Alrighty. Wherever you find your Cage Match podcast, or however the saying is. All right. And also, shouts out to all the people who has subscribed. We got a big jump in subscribers just in the last week. So you want to thank everybody. I don't know what number are we at right now. We are at 194.
Oh, 194. We got another one before the show started.
194, 6 away from 200. Are we going to get it by the end of the show? Let's hope. But you know who else? Let's hope. But you know who brings the audience to class? Do you know who brings the audience to class?
Yes, I do.
We have her.
Everybody
who came to see our teacher, our professor, our Raider professor. We call her Miss Peggy. You got the intro?
I'm ready, yeah.
We call her Miss Peggy. Let's introduce Miss Peggy with her intro. Here we go. Let's go. Hello,
and
Miss
happy
Peggy.
Halloween to everybody. I mean, I know we wish that our Raiders had another costume on Sunday, but like you guys said, there's some good things that came out of Sunday. And with this team, you got to take what you can get, right? You better take, because you're going to be a miserable somebody by Thanksgiving if you don't start looking at the good instead of always talking about the bad. I mean, really, we have so much to talk about. But guys, I wanted to get started right away by talking about the big thing. I want to start with the two top guys. We're about at mid-season. What are you thinking about the job Antonio Pierce is doing? That's what I want to see. I want to hear about.
You want to go first?
Go ahead, go first. Not everyone jump all at once. Come on, guys.
Oh, okay. I gotta go first. All right. Well, I mean, rookie head coach. He's still learning his way. I'm not on the fire AP train like maybe 75% of those who are. I'm not gonna say 75% of Raider Nation, but 75% of those that troll these Raider Facebook pages and all that. I'm not ready to do that yet. We've been through worse seasons. One Art Shell Part 2.0, 2006. So we've been through worse seasons. But that team just was a whole bunch of that wasn't a great team. This team right now, a lot of injuries. A lot of rookies are playing in key spots, especially on the offensive line. Quarterback, yeah, that's up in the air. What we have right now active, we know Minshew is Minshew, and we don't know what we're gonna get with Desmond Ridder, but I mean AP is still learning, and Everyone's all like, well, the fans wanted him. So did the players. The players wanted him too. As long as this team doesn't look like they're quitting, then I'm not on that. I'm not on that bandwagon. Now the offensive coordinator, though, I know Asala might be opposite of me on this one, or maybe he's on the fence. I don't know. But the offensive coordinator, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to give the calls to somebody else, because once the script is done, basically the offense is done. 15 players, all right, we're good. Let's go home now. So, Asala, let me take over.
But I mean, seriously, Solid, I'm going to let you get in, but I just wanted to insert something that I think I've said a couple of times. I've come on here, that we have to look at the continuity, and we have to look at stability, and we have to start looking at it from the players' point of view. I mean, they're the guys that we're expecting to execute and perform. And with Pierce, if he doesn't know the mistake he made in February by settling for a guy like Getsy, and as I said in a couple of shows already, Getsy is just in over his head, okay? The guy doesn't have the depth of knowledge and experience for the job that was needed, and Pierce should have known that. He needed a Joe Philbin. Okay, a guy that's sitting on our staff right now. Why is Joe Philbin the assistant and Getsy the offensive coordinator? It's things like that that happen inside of our organization that keeps us still struggling. I mean, and oh, by the way, the reason we can't keep Getsy, we have to draft a quarterback in 2025, and his record with quarterbacks, new quarterbacks. We can't take that chance. It's too big of a decision. What are you thinking, Asylum?
You said part of what I was going to say. I mean, we got to stick with continuity. We've been through, we've been through this whole thing where it's fire a coach, fire a coach, fire a coach, fire a coach. And you know what? How has that worked out for us? You got to give a coach a chance to build his team. In going. Right now, AP don't know what he don't know. He's learning what he don't know and what he's got to learn, and he's learning on the job. I guarantee all these great coaches were in this same spot. Every great coach you want to bring up that everybody says we need to be getting somebody like this, a Belichick, a Dan Campbell. They all started off right where AP's at, and first-time head coach. Give the man a chance to learn what he needs to learn, build what he needs to build, and figure out how he needs to be. Is he being a little conservative sometimes? Yes, but he got to learn when to be that firm, assertive, like he was with who the hell was it last year?
Uncle Hardigree.
Well, Peters, right? Marcus Peters.
Marcus Peters. There you go.
Oh, sorry.
Marcus Peters. Whatever the hell he said. He said, I ain't putting up with this shit. You're gone. But it's easier to do as an interim head coach because you don't know if you're going to have the job at the end of the season versus now where, you're trying to keep your job. Let's give him a chance to figure this shit out. Learn what he, like Savage said, as long as the team hasn't given up on the coach, you keep the coach. You got to give him a chance to do what he's doing. Now, I know, Peggy, you've said this before, and this is going to go to Luke Getsy. Sometimes just for the continuity reasons, sometimes you got to keep that bad coach that everyone's not necessarily happy with just for continuity as well, because we've done this as well. Look at Derek Carr. How many damn offensive coordinators did he go through in his 9 years?
Yeah.
Right.
And Asylum, I would be with you. I mean, 100% with you, because I'm for stopping this carousel merry-go-round. Let's fire this guy. Let's fire that guy. And oh, by the way, if I see that on any of your posts, I immediately unfollow you. When you start talking about firing somebody after all the turmoil this franchise has been through in the last 10 to 12 years, and really going back to 2002. Always thinking that the next guy is going to be the guy. the next quarterback is going to be the quarterback. You have to build a system. You have to build it. And again, we fans don't think enough about what it looks like from the player's point of view. And for that matter, AP's got another problem. What does it look like from free agents around the league's point of view when they're looking at our franchise? We've got to go out and acquire an offensive line. How are we going to get a guy like Quentin Nelson to come here after what we did to Derek Carr and what we did to Adams? I mean, don't think that the rest of the league isn't looking around and saying, wait a minute, them guys is crazy. And that was a reason why Harbaugh was never coming here to this shit show. We eat coaches for breakfast. We have to demonstrate that we can, create an environment where a player and a coach can prosper. And we haven't done that. But
how do we do that though? We do that by keeping what we got and trying to keep everything going. I
can't go along about Getsy for the simple reason I already said it. We got to get it. We got to draft a quarterback next year. Do we not? We have no choice.
Develop? Okay, I'll go to develop. Yes, I still say we haven't had our chance to see what we got with O'Connell. O'Connell has had this game played with him. You're the third stringer. Now you're the starter. You're going to be the starter. If you could beat it out, you got to be beat out. Then they give it to Minshew and go. So, and with even Minshew, it might be there if we get this O-line fixed. And I know I said it on Captain Show, on his second show, I should say. And I did get this from Oakland Raiders Savage, who had, broke down, saw everything, the way he looked at it from his offensive, lineman view and everything. We got to get out of this damn zone blocking, get to power blocking, and get the run game going that way.
Well, more importantly, we need coaches who recognize that the O-line is the center of the offense, not the quarterback, not the running back. I thought Joe Gibbs 30, 40 years ago had already taught this to the league, but by the way, nobody was listening. It doesn't matter who your quarterback or running back is if you have a all-pro O-line. And that is the reason.
You got to remember, 30 years ago, we didn't have Madden. 30 years ago, we didn't have Madden. Now we got Madden, and everybody else is involved, and now we got to make fans happy and everything else. I remember back when football teams didn't give a fuck what the fans thought. They're going to do what they need to do because they're trying to win and focus. The fans didn't have no input.
Well, but now we have lots of input.
Social media.
Wait a minute. Not only that, but now they want us to pay $500 a ticket. Okay, now you're getting deep into people's pockets. Okay, so you probably have to be a little kinder and friendlier to them since you're asking them to spend next month's rent to come and see one of your football games. Okay, so there's a lot of reasons why but again, fans don't see it from the player and coach point of view. Fans are not on that sidelines. We do not know what is going on in a course of the game that causes a coach to make this and that decision. But we do know this. Getsy and Pierce better get it through their head. There is no other priority in the offseason, not even a quarterback, than fixing that O-line. What good is it to get a new quarterback? There is no other priority. And that should have been the priority this offseason if anybody was watching films from 2023.
Well, I think we started to fix the O-line. We started it. We started it with the drafting of JPJ and the DJ Glaze. We started it.
Right.
Now we got to get some. Now we got to get some free agents.
Get out on the free agent market. We need to bring in veterans immediately.
That's where I was about to go with
that. Because you knew how unstable your quarterback position is, and now the result of not making O-line by priority is not just through the draft. You had to get free agents in here. And you didn't make, this is why I knew Getsy didn't know what he was doing when they gave James a 3-year contract.
Yeah.
Who can look at the film?
Wasn't James re-signed before Getsy came in?
I'm not.
No, because I think he was re-signed at the same time as Minshew was signed.
Okay.
Which was after they hired Getsy.
After a lot of those offensive linemen got big contracts.
The result of not making O-line the centerpiece of what you were going to do in the offseason. It should have
always
been
one in the trenches.
Pierce, and Getsy decision before the draft and while the free agent season was open. But Savage, put up your offensive stats, please. I mean, I can't really say what we're going to do. This is the result of not paying attention to the most important piece of your offense, your O-line. You could have put anybody behind that O-line. Minshew, if you knew you only had Minshew and O'Connell, you know those guys are statues, right? They're not. I mean, Minshew is a lot more mobile, but
he's supposed to be. But he runs in circles right now.
And what else you've got, and this calls for another one of your famous stats, Savage, is the mistakes, the turnovers. People are blaming Minshew. No, you don't know football if you are just blaming the quarterback. Sure, it's mechanical. It's technical. Maybe a ball was thrown too early, but you don't know whether a receiver wasn't where he was supposed to be. Okay? You don't know this. It all starts with pass protection. Imagine Minshew. Every single pass play on Sunday, he was either hit or knocked to the ground. And this is the result. I mean, there's so many tragedies that result from not making the O-line the center of the attention, the free agent attention last week. In the off season. Savage, what are you seeing? I mean, is this not tremendous?
I mean, if you look, turnovers altogether, if you look at how many points that we gifted to the opposing team in these 8 games, the Rams game, we gave them all their points. The Chiefs game, we lost by 7. We gave them 10. So,
I mean, you can't even finish that sentence, can you? It started in February. We can't fix February. You don't have an offensive line. At least not a pro one, right?
Well,
and this is just one of the bad consequences.
Of course, we might have an offensive line. I think we got to move some players into different positions, such as getting James out from fucking center, which did happen in the game because of an injury. But
JPJ for center right there.
I mean, you got 2 people. Me and Savage is called for Parham at center and JPJ at center. Now, if you bring in narrative, we have people in there that we're saying are backup pieces or depth pieces, but we have things to be able to play around on that offensive line to see what works. But what we haven't seen is any of that happening during the game. What you see is James is the center, and unless he's hurt, he comes out, which I think is bullshit. Switch it around, move these players around, see what you got.
But this is what I'm going back to February, the off season. You committed to James. You said you're our center. Now you're asking them to backtrack on all of that. We take it back.
That's the NFL. Well, not necessarily. We could keep him for depth. We could try him in a different position. Just maybe he's just not the right guy for center.
I was saying that after his first year when he was a full-time center, after they got rid of Rodney Hudson and Gruden put him in, I'm all like, he gets pushed back. He was like what was another center that we had? There was another center that we had drafted, and he was better at guard also. I can't remember who it was, but They're too small. They would hit James, the other guy. I can't think of his name. This is like maybe 10 years ago, but they're too small. They don't like Barrett Robbins. You don't mess with Barrett Robbins. Like Dave Dalby, like Mosbar, like Hudson. I mean, Jim Otto's another. That's a different legend right there. But
I mean, you can't
Mr. Raider
understand
himself.
Well, but wait a minute, and God rest his soul. But we all know the importance of the center. It's not just hiking the football. That's for the Madden crowd. That guy is the guy who calls the signals for the other offensive linemen.
Yes.
He's the anchor of the line.
And what did you see in the game, though? What did you see in this game? The minute JPJ took over center, he was doing his job and calling out what he needed to call out. I haven't seen James do it at all this season.
He never does
down. He keeps his head down. Wait for that guard to tap him on the leg so he can hike the ball, and that's all he does.
The center who keeps his head down never lifts up to look over the defense. Never.
I'll take Adam True back. Give me Adam True. Barrett Robbins backup. I'll take Adam True.
But we have to understand that this error was made in February, and it's not going to be fixed this year unless you, like you guys say, just keep moving people around. Try to keep moving. But then that also begs the question, who thought the lineup was good as it was in September? It's the evaluation of talent that troubles me. And I got to break that right back to Getsy. And of course, the offensive line coach who he hired. I got to take it right back to Getsy. What kind of a guy with 2 years OC experience? His lack of experience is showing. Who thought the lineup that they had was great in the first place? I mean, in September, when it said these are the guys we're going with.
And going back to the offensive line, I don't know if maybe certain players, they have. I don't know what the word I want to use, but like Miller. Yeah, he came off the surgery, the shoulder injury from last year, and they're like, okay, give him some time, let him get the rust off, let him get back in it. But now we already played 8 games. And he got the first. He got the first false start penalty in this game, but he's getting beat, and he's an older. I think he's the oldest player on that offensive line. I think he's like in his early 30s or late 20s, early 30s. He's been injured. We got to
start oiling them joints is what we got to do. Start oiling them joints before the game so he can get loose and get him moving. Because
get him a masseuse, huh?
Well, Tom Brady is passing out his masseuse. I forgot his name. That body trainer that Max Crosby, has high praise for. So, hey, get him over there.
I'm going to get to talking about all that feel good, the good old boys in the house, stuff later. But what I'm saying is that we really have to, Raider fans have to accept that certain things, like rebuilding an offensive line, is an off-season project. It's really not an in-season project. And when look at the other fallout from not making the offensive line your priority. O'Connell is hurt. Well, and the run game. O'Connell is hurt. And that broken thumb, that's his grip finger on his right hand. I'm not sure what his mechanics going to look like even when he comes back. Do you know? I mean,
I know they say 4 to 6 weeks, but this is something that could affect him even longer than that because of where they say that break was and the way it happened. It's one of those things. It may take him. I believe
the man couldn't even complete his throwing motion. I watched the play. Nobody can now because of his experience. Minshew knows to pump first and then move slightly away from the jerseys in his face. And you heard me last night. It's not the opposing team jerseys that are in Minshew's face every single play. It's his own players' jerseys. He's seeing his own players getting pushed backwards into him every single play. So he knows he has to move, and that's where you're getting the ball insecurity problems. I mean, everyone's complaining about that, but no one is seeing it from the player's point of view. I mean, you already got one hurt. And let's talk about Desmond Ridder. Has anybody really looked at him? I've been following Desmond Ridder a little while in Atlanta. He was a victim of a political shakeup. Okay? He was in O'Connell's situation. First you're the starter, now you're not. Now you're going to start, now you're not. Oh, by the way, we're going to get Kirk Cousins, and we're going to draft Penix. You're out. Okay? He was a political victim. I don't think the guy's a bad quarterback. Problem is, he only been here 1 week. And I know people are saying Getsy's offense is so easy, a child could do it. What are those Geico commercials? So easy.
So easy.
A caveman.
But it's not just learning the playbook, of course. It's getting chemistry and rhythm with the guys around you, right? It's getting the signals right, snap count right, if any. By the way, has anybody seen audibles this year? Oh, there's and a hush fell over the crowd. Come on now. Has anybody seen audibles this year?
Nope.
Why is that? Why not?
I don't even see a lot of pre-snap motions going on this year.
Motion, and you were the one that hit me to the fact that this thing is so vanilla, there's not even motion. But seriously, have you seen audibles?
Nope.
What is going on in Luke Getsy's mind? This is why we can't keep him asylum. We just can't. He's too far off the mark. We need a guy that at least can execute pre-snap motions, can get his offense to at least try to fool him.
Well, it makes me wonder if there's only one play being called into the quarterback to begin with, and there is no audible to go to. Usually quarterbacks get 2-3 plays, called. One's an audible, depending on what you see.
But that's stuff you installed during the practice week. Right?
Yes, well, you saw that during training camp and OTAs and all that other shit.
Which Getsy was here for.
Yes, he was. He was here for those, yes.
Job is way too much for the child. He just, the poor little thing needs to go back and be a wide receiver coach for a little while, get a new perspective, but he can't stay. And by the way, with Desmond Ridder, you get a guy who's actually looking for a chance, just like Minshew was. And I keep reminding people, Minshew didn't come here to sit on the bench behind O'Connell.
Nope.
Why would he have left that comfy situation in Indianapolis where, oh, by the way, he'd be the starter because they just benched Richardson?
They just benched Richardson because he got tired. He's tired already.
Well,
it's only the second season and he's tired.
Well, but he hardly played 16 games first to you challenge. Why would Minshew have left a sure situation like that where he knew the offense, they were comfortable with him, he was running their offense, he actually had pass protection, right? He didn't have to worry about whether his Casa Permanente was paid up every week that he went out there to come to Oakland, come to Vegas. Answer. He was
because the rookie.
Oh, I thought you was chance to fight for the starting job.
Because Richardson was going to go back to being the starter, and the Raiders' job had the quarterback position was penciled in O'Connell, so that was his window to try to become a starting quarterback from day one. But
And look at Minshew's performance. See, people, once again, I hear Ray Nate, like I said, if I see you, tragic, Minshew needs to be benched, Minshew needs to be cut, I'm unfollowing you, okay? Because I know you don't know what you're talking about. Despite all of what we talking about with the O-line, no running game, right? Baby, infant wild receivers that can barely run a route, right? Meyer just getting back. Rams game, he put us in position for 5 field goals. Despite everything that was going, 3 interceptions and all that going on, he still put it on against the Chiefs, which is really one of the toughest defenses in the league. Even though Raider fans want to believe it's all about Mahomes, for the last 2 years, that defense has saved Mahomes.
Well, that defense is the defense and the refs are the only reason why they're 7-0 right now.
Right. But the whole point is Minshew still put up 20. Despite getting smacked around and beat up, I think that should say something to real football fans about how tough he is. Okay? He still goes out there play after play knowing he going to get slapped upside the head. Y'all know it. Oh, he going to be rolling on the ground every single pass play. He still goes up and tries his best. And all people can see is ball insecurity. He keeps throwing interceptions. You're lucky he's still healthy. That's all I have to say to people like that. You're lucky that he's not on IR.
And okay? That's true because he's after him it's Bradley after him it's Ritter who we just got still on the offense, and then we have Bradley who everyone is saying from the reporters and everybody is saying is he's not ready to go out there and play an actual NFL game. In his first preseason game, they didn't even have him throw the ball. Talking about Bradley, so yes. It just gets frustrating, we got emotional damage. We got a segment for that one. Emotional damage where it's like again, Minshew again. And I get it. You're running around. You can't see over your offensive lineman because they're getting stood up by the defensive lineman, standing them up, driving them into the quarterback.
You don't even have enough room to complete your throwing motion. Okay? Yeah. That's how O'Connell got injured, trying to actually complete his throwing motion with all these guys in his personal space. I'm sorry, guy. The laws of physics can be changed. The game of football is played a certain way. A quarterback must have a pocket of some sort, or either he has to have space enough to complete his throwing motion. Come on now. Gardner can't even get the proper mechanics on most of those throws that he makes. He really can't. He doesn't have the time and he doesn't have the space. Think about it.
He's the one that lost in the trenches.
Yeah. And now you want to know why is he throwing all those interceptions? God.
Well, it's the same thing how everyone wants, and I'm pretty sure you said it many times, Asylum said it many times. The reason why we got rid of Carr, right? Throwing all over the place, running around, throwing all over the place. We got rid of Carr, and we see everybody like, hey, Carr wasn't so bad. He did his thing now that I think about it compared to what we have, and that's a lot of us were afraid of.
I don't want to hear it. If y'all watch, I know, Savage, you're not on Facebook, but Asylum, you are. I am never going to let the Kardashians forget that they were the ones that were part of the mob, the Frankenstein mob that ran Carr out of town. And oh, by the way, how you like me now? Okay? I'm never going to let y'all forget. No, I'm not going to let it go because it was one major error in a series of errors that the Raiders have made. We need stability.
Well, and we had 9 years at stability at quarterback. We were a revolving door at quarterback before Carr. And then we had Carr. 9 years of stability, and he's not as bad as the Kardashians we're going and everything. He never. The 1 year he had an offensive line, 2016, he blew up the fucking league. Then broke his goddamn leg. Then all of a sudden that line got blown up the next year. And then it went right back to, what it was.
And, oh, by the way, they got rid of his offensive coordinator, Bill Musgrave, because Del Rio was jealous of him, and promote Todd Downing. What is Todd doing these days after he got fired in Tennessee? He's with the Jets.
They promoted him to call plays a couple of games ago, and it was right after when Saleh got fired. What's the other guy? What's the other offense coordinator that they had? And then
it's Nathan. I carry a clipboard Hackett.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't hack it, so.
But by the way, but you don't fire Hackett. You just let him sit there with his clipboard and hire all these people to help him. Just like us hiring that co-defensive coordinator to help Ken Norton Jr. out. It's always a bad idea to let the players know you have no confidence in your coordinator. Okay? It's only desperate teams like the Jets and the Raiders do that. Okay? Nobody, the Pittsburghs of the world don't do that. Okay? You have to establish continuity. And you have to, and this is the thing that they never did for Carr. And of course, he never had a defense. Not the defense that we got today. And while we're at it, we might as well switch to talking about our little defense, because God bless them. With all those injuries, they're still showing up and showing out. What are you thinking, guys?
I mean, that's been. I know people are probably looking at, well, our defense ain't as good as last year and but they've been put into a lot of difficult situations where they have to defend the short side of the field. But they have kept this team outside of the Carolina game. They had kept this team in these games as they're not getting help from the offense, but they've been keeping his teams in the games. Deep into the fourth quarter for many of them. So the defense is there. Yeah.
And you have people that I remember last year when everyone was talking about Jacorian Bennett and said he's a bust. He needs to go.
They didn't know.
And then now look at him this year. Now he's the best guy on the team. Space me, thanks for bringing up Tyree, because I've been saying it since last year. Everyone calling him a bust. He can't do this. He can't do that. Well, I think he was the only man to get a sack on Mahomes this game. He's got, last year he was hurt. I know what a plantar fasciitis could do because my wife had it. That is a debilitating, injury that takes a long time to heal. And, you have to give him a chance to heal. Now that he's healed, you're starting to see this is truly his rookie year.
Truly.
This is truly his rookie year.
Yeah, and the other part, Asylum, to add to what you're saying, it's not just healing. It's a psychological, again, let's think about it from the player's point of view. This is psychological. The body is like, well, I hurt that leg. Maybe I better not be as aggressive because I don't want to hurt it again. It's a psychological thing. It's an autonomic system. You automatically protect the limbs that have been broken or hurt. It's just a natural thing. You can't even help it. But let's talk about the people who I also unfollowed that were screaming and hollering about how we couldn't cover Kelsey. Gentlemen, when have we ever been able to cover Kelsey?
Last year he dropped the ball a lot, so I guess a push. In that Christmas game?
Chelsea's always had our number. That's always been a thing. We haven't had the linebackers or anybody who could do it. And unfortunately,
that's been like the last 20 years.
When have we ever been able to cover Kelsey? It doesn't matter who the defensive coordinator is or the coach.
It's been since Tony Gonzalez that we haven't been able to cover it. Kansas City tight end, even Antonio Gates with the Chargers. Haven't been able.
And let us all talk about our answer to Kelsey, which of course is Bowers, which brings us to another reason why Getsy has to go. When you have the next Travis Kelsey on your roster,
he's better than Travis Kelsey.
Better, because he's a Swiss Army knife. He can do more than Kelsey can do.
Yes.
Okay? Way more. But of course, we don't know that yet, do we? Because we have an offensive coordinator that still hasn't figured out how to use them. Furthermore, can somebody explain why Bowers disappears? A guy like Bowers who cannot be covered. Why does he disappear in the third and fourth quarter of our games? Why can't we get him into the end zone? Can somebody explain that to me?
We gotta somehow get after that first 15, whatever it is, how many plays that got scripted. We can't even move the ball after that. We're trying to force, and what I saw was saying, what I was talking about, it's like we want to be a physical team with a zone blocking scheme. Oh, that sounds like a rhyme. That sounds like a t-shirt right there. You want to be a physical team with a zone blocking scheme. You want to be physical, power block. Go straight into that guy in front of you. Go straight into the, if we're going to go, the one hole, straight up man block. If we're going to go down block, and we're doing this, shifting to the right, and let the running back try to find an opening, and that's not working because the opening is like this small. And then when he finally sees 2-yard loss.
I mean, 14 carries, 15 yards, 1.1 yard per carry average for Madison. I mean, what is that telling you? But I still want to go back to a guy like Bowers. We got Travis Kelsey on our roster now. Why is he not being used?
And that's also... We keep saying, you know what? If the run ain't working, let the pass open up the run. Because even at the end, even at the end of the game, the Chiefs weren't really going in a they weren't doing prevent.
No,
so
nobody has to do prevent with the Raiders. We don't have a deep passing game. Everyone knows this in the league, but it was hurry up, wasn't it?
It was hurry up. So when it was hurry up, and this happened a few games ago too, where I think it was the Rams game, I believe. I can't remember. It was one game recently where we had to score. I mean, I want to say the game was close to being over, but we had to score and throwing the ball. Minshew got down the field real quick. We ended up scoring a touchdown, and we where was this at? Between the end of the first quarter and the halfway through the fourth quarter. Where was that at?
We can even add something else. With a player like Tucker, where the fuck is the deep ball?
What? Well, I was getting ready. We are channeling each other asylum. I do not understand why, and this is another reason why Getsy can't stay. I mean, you have to attack deep. Even if you don't complete not one pass.
Even if you get, I've said that before.
You have to keep going deep.
You got to keep the defense on it.
Yeah.
At least 5 to 6 times from the get-go. Because everyone in the league is stacking 5 and 6 man. Did you see the 5-man fronts Kansas City just stayed in?
Yeah. And they would line up a linebacker on that right side to attack Glaze. Because they know, the offense line is not looking that way, so they're not adjusting, the blocking before the ball snap. So now you got 2 guys coming at Glaze. You have Glaze going in for the inside guy. The guard next to him, Meredith, has nobody to block. And now you got that free linebacker is coming straight shot to Minshew or coming straight shot to trip up Madison or whoever. It's like they never even look that way, the offensive line.
But the whole point is they feel confident that they can, use their linebackers and even safeties like that because they're not worried about anything going on behind them.
No. The deep ball keeps the defense honest, plain and simple. It keeps them honest.
We have to run a judo offense. Judo know if I got a deep ball. Judo know if I got a power running game. Judo know what I'm gonna do next. That's what we gotta have, a judo offense, because they know they're gonna try to run and they're gonna force the run between quarters 2 and 4, and then when they're down by 2 touchdowns, now they're gonna pass.
And this is the thing: the imagination, the lack of even. It's like, okay, it's been 7 games, and still you don't know how to use Bauer. You're not using the entire field. You're not stretching the defense. You're not getting those 5 men off that line of scrimmage. You can't run the football, which again, I'm going to be unfriending you for the people that I'm going to be unfollowing you if you're still talking about how bad Minshew is. But oh, by the way, in spite of all that madness going on, he scored 20 points. And please, if you say garbage time, I'm going to unfollow you too. I don't care about garbage time. The Chiefs didn't have to let us score anything. And they weren't trying to let us score at all. They like humiliating us. But we weren't humiliated. They only won by 7.
Yeah.
No, and if you go off of just, I say one drive and one play, and I'm not putting it on Minshew, but one drive and one play, it's the same score but reverse, and we win. That Merrick pick that we can't score on.
Well,
then you turn around, give them the ball back, and then they go, and then you turn around and the Minshew fumble, which they scored 7 points on. That's a 14-point
you skipped something. The goal line stand. That was our 7.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. Their goal line, I didn't skip it. That's what I'm saying. We did not score after the Merrick interception or straight run play.
Did not lose that game. It was the
no. I'm not saying. I didn't say it lost the game. I'm not saying it lost the game. It's just one of those. I'm just saying those two, that drive and that play together, because they scored that 7 points off that fumble. And if we would have scored that 7 points and not fumbled, then you got a 27-20 game. But now we win 27-20.
Maybe we don't fumble. Maybe Kansas City plays a whole different kind of defense because the score is tied.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why we really can't say this one play made this game happen. We have to be careful about that, because had that score been tied, had we gotten us, and guys, did you see that goal last stand? What was Getsy trying to prove? That's the only thing he must have been trying to prove something. What was he trying to prove?
And
4 plays that he called on that goal line stand.
AP was asked after the game, what happened on that, and it was it was a 1st and goal on the 3-yard line, and they asked him, you went 4 straight passes last week on the goal line, got nothing. He tried to go 4 straight run. Well, it was actually 3 runs and then a desperate pass where Minshew couldn't even get the ball up, but because he got sacked right away. Because Glaze or Meredith got beat in that one. We're gonna show that later. Yeah, I don't know. It's that's what I was saying. If they just went straight power run, I didn't like them. If you're gonna go in that shotgun, I'd rather Minshew fake play action, fake the handoff, roll out to the left. You had Jacoby Myers running that way anyways. Have him on motion. Have him run that way. Now he's the personal protector. Minshew aim for that pylon. Touchdown.
What about a quarterback sneak at that point though too?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Up the middle. Yeah.
Minshew's big enough.
The middle was gonna work. Come on now.
Minshew's big enough. He could, when we got it to that 2-1 yard line, Minshew's big enough. He could have got it in there if they would have fucking tried. They do it with goddamn Jalen Hurts, who's smaller than damn Minshew.
I feel you. I know y'all want to believe that the Raiders can run anything up the middle, but they can't.
They got this finesse.
They
Uh,
can't.
uh,
Has to all go outside. Has to all bounce outside. And let's talk about why Getsy don't use any of those tight ends on that goal line. I thought tight ends were made for the goal line.
I mean,
You
after
got Brock Bowers, who is basically could block like an offensive lineman, and you don't see it on the goal line. They got him out trying to do whatever.
I mean,
I feel like if a play
this
don't work,
time,
if a play don't work in a certain situation, Getsy don't call it. Because we try to go after the tight end in that Bronco game, and we were going for that second touchdown, and got took back 100 yards, and we don't see them going to the tight end anymore. So,
but you got other you got Bowers, you got Bryant, you even got a third tight end that I saw out there. I can't remember the child's name.
Father
But the whole
him?
point is,
Shanker.
Shanker.
I think it's Shanker.
That's it,
I
Shanker,
thought tight ends, that's about play design. It's about play design. And that is solely the offensive coordinator's job, to design plays to get people open in that tight space we call the goal line. What are we talking about? 10, 12 yards at most?
Well, how come we don't run that play
guys
when we were on the 3-yard line? How come we didn't run that same play with Jacoby Myers that we did the fake handoff and then went over to Adams?
Maybe
how come we couldn't do that?
Because
I don't know. It's like Getsy, AP before halftime, right before they walked into halftime, they showed the camera on AP talking to Getsy. Then all of a sudden, offense is starting to click. So that's where we're like, okay, maybe they're okay. Yeah, he told him, let's go. Let's get more aggressive. We don't know what's going on, but it's like, are we having the same talk every game? And we got to fire up Getsy. Like, let's go. Come on, he's up in the booth now. You can see everything better. And you have Philbin, who's up there with him. That's an asylum. You got Philbin up there. Go ask Philbin what's going on. But we lost. We don't have any. No one. The defense is not afraid of our offense. They're not afraid of Jacoby Myers. They're not afraid of Bowers because they just put 2 guys on Bowers and everybody else disappears. They're not afraid of the Tucker down DJ. Down the field, and not afraid of nobody because we don't call plays like you guys just said to put fear that we can do that. We'll throw it out there.
And I've said this before. I said it early on in the season. I'll say it again. First play of the goddamn game. Go deep.
Go deep.
Who cares how it turns out? First play. It's either going to be the greatest play of the game.
The first half, I expect at least 5 deep routes. But now that requires an offensive coordinator that can actually draw up the routes and teach his guys how to run those routes, doesn't it? You see, that's why another reason, I think I've named like 10 reasons why we can't keep Getsy. My offensive coordinator has to know how to draw up deep routes. And it's apparent that the Raiders have none. And, oh, by the way, don't talk about, your offensive line can't block long enough for the play to develop. I don't care about that. I think Minshew is.
I've seen that offensive line be able to keep a clean pocket long enough for a deep ball. I have seen it. You started in shotgun, and that offensive line is held long enough for a Trey Tucker to get 30 yards down the field. Then you throw it. That's another 10 yards while the ball's in the damn air. And by the time it hits him, that's 45 yards. He catches it. And now you're talking about a 50-plus yard, if not a fucking touchdown, depending on how it goes. I've seen the offensive line hold themselves long enough for a deep play. I've seen it. But it's always this short shit. And I'm sick and tired of these plays, these balls being thrown behind the line of fucking scrimmage.
Well, I'm going to wish you a happy Thanksgiving because I know even by Thanksgiving, Getsy will not have figured out how to design routes for our young receivers to run. And it takes sophistication. You have to do things to draw safeties and corners where you don't want them to be.
Yeah.
You need to find that mismatch, that single, you need the single coverage. But that takes brains, offensive mind like John Gruden, right? To draw up the kind of play that's actually going to hit pay dirt. And see, the other thing is we need to give our young receivers, Tucker and Turner, some experience deep. They don't have any. All right. Everything is in this 20-yard box.
Yeah.
They need experience running deep routes. And they also need experience learning how to get off of that line of scrimmage, right? Without being, because right here, Kansas City Chiefs were mean, just like the Rams. They were hitting our little young boys. They were chopping them. They were pushing them outside the 5-yard line, pushing them off their route, and they seem not to recover. Well, don't get close enough to a guy to get pushed. See, you need experience to know how to run your route in a way that you avoid being knocked off, the timing being knocked off, okay? By you getting pushed or rerouted, you know what I'm saying?
Or a double or triple fake. You know, I mean, that's one thing that Renfro was good at. He used to do a double or triple fake and be able to get open. He used to break ankles like Steph Curry did.
But my young guys need to practice this. And the only way they're going to practice this is if you make them targets deep. And I don't mean no 30-yard pass. I mean deep. Why don't we this year, and I know it's time for me to go, but have we thrown a pass into the end zone from scrimmage more than 20 yards? Think about it. Has there been any pass play that's gone to the end zone? Not 3 yards, 4 yards, 10 yards, and then hope that he gets some yak, right? Gets it. I'm talking about to the end zone.
I can't recall. I'm trying to think too. I can't recall though.
Yes, he can't stay. One more reason why he can't stay.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Since this Bengals game was right before the bye week, is Getsy play calling for his job to stay?
What do you think, Savage? I mean, I'm torn between the continuity thing and the fact that this guy is just never going to get better. He just doesn't have the brain, the offensive mind that we need. And knowing this, it's not going to get better. But then what about stability? What do you think of Savage? I mean, excuse me, Asylum. I mean,
well, I mean, that's tough. I mean, I know a lot of people, there's a chance that Getsy can lose his job after the bye week, depending on how things go, depending on how you want to go. But again, I'm all for the continuity. We need the continuity right now.
We do.
I think you, as much as I know you won't want to hear this, a lot of people don't want to hear this, you got to give him probably till at least the end of the season and then reevaluate everything from there.
And it's going to be painful. And I know what Solomon is saying is true. Raider Nation, is going to be painful to watch. You got a head coach don't know what he's doing, a offensive coordinator definitely don't know what he's doing, and players on offense especially that are confused, looking for leadership and guidance and not going to get it. Okay? They're not going to get better either. Minshew is out there doing the best job he can under the circumstances that have been given to him. Yes, ball security is a problem, but other than that fumble on Sunday, which by the way, him escaping once again from a non-existent pocket, look at his stats. His stats have always looked like that. Very efficient, don't you think?
Yeah, he's higher in the league in completion percentage.
Very efficient.
Yeah.
In spite everything that's going on around. It's a freak show. Can I say it any better than that, you guys? It is a friggin' freak show. It is a Chinese fire drill when he says hike. And despite all that, 24 of 30, O'Connell wastes at least 50% of his passes all the time. He's always wasting passes. Minshew doesn't waste passes. And again, if you think Ritter can do better, maybe we want to see Ritter. Because I kind of think the guy's okay. I think that he just was in a bad situation in Atlanta. And
I agree with that.
They were never going to give him a really legit chance to be the starter there. Maybe he has one here. Who knows? Maybe people get tired of Minshew. What you get with Minshew's efficiency, you get the gambling. He's reckless. Always has been. He's a gambler.
Yeah.
So was
the
Stabler.
gunslinger. Yeah.
Gunslinger, yeah.
So was Stabler, except Stabler was surrounded by 16 Hall of Famers. Okay.
Art Shell, Gene Upshaw.
Well, he also had Highway 63 for the damn running game. Don't forget about that. There was a running game because he had Highway 63 right there.
I mean, he had 16 Hall of Famers. What Minshew got? Any Hall of Famers? Any All Pros on that offense?
We have Bowers, the up-and-coming Casper.
Bowers is the All Pro.
Todd Christensen.
Maybe Jacoby if he can stay healthy.
I just don't see anybody that's a hands down All Pro, and certainly not on that O line. I'm sorry, but you need.
Oh, definitely not on the O line right now.
Well, but you need at least one All Pro on that O line. I mean, whatever we have to do to get Quentin to come, I got to ask the Colts fan. I think he's in his 4th year, isn't he? Unless they re-signed him. I got to go check and see.
We have the money.
We need a free agent All-Pro guard bad. And whatever we have to pay him to get him here, we got to get him here. Okay? And I love those numbers. Guys, I got to run, but we are going to talk in 2 weeks. Is that the bye week? Is that going to be the bye?
That's the bye week, yeah.
That's the bye.
And you're going to have some of your fabulous stats, Savage, on the mid-season review.
Yes.
What the Raiders have done so far. And I just think that anybody looking for wins, I mean, y'all need to watch another team. This is a team, unfortunately, that's going to be looking for an identity. They have the wrong offensive coordinator. And unfortunately, Asylum, we'll probably have to do what you say. Just
bring back Bo Hardigree.
No, not when I got Joe Philbin sitting over there.
But I wonder if Joe Philbin said, I don't want to do it, and that's why it hasn't happened yet.
Exactly. That's the question that we asked, because I said Getsy shouldn't even have been on the list of people to be considered for our OC job, but maybe everybody else turned us down. Remember, the whole league was watching the way we treated Carr. We ain't coming back from that easy. And that's one thing that Mark forgot when he allowed McDaniels to do what he did to Carr. Everybody's watching. Free agents, coaches, college, pro, up in Canada. They are watching. How am I going to get treated by the Raiders? And then with Adams? No. Anyway, have a great evening, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Okay?
See you in 2 weeks.
See you soon. Bye.
I was all ready to push the button too. You know that, right?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. My bad. You know, I'm trying to pay attention. At the same time, she asked for, like, she brought up this. I said, "Oh, I got that graphic. Let me go get it." And then I'm trying to, like, listen and then try to get the information to keep up, because Peggy, she's
you got to be able to keep up. You got to be thinking ahead with Peggy, and that's what I'm trying to do. You got to think, okay, she's saying this. I want to say this. Oh, damn, she just threw a curveball. Let me answer this and try to lead that back in. Yeah, Peggy on her shit.
Yeah,
that's why.
And I'm like, I have that graphic. I have that graphic. Hold on, I'm on my phone trying to transfer it over to the computer so I can just hurry up and upload it. Because I took all those off, the Ritter one, and it was another, the injury one, and I'm all like, wait, I had that. And I watched last night, because she's on Captain's show on the Tuesdays before she's on our show on Wednesday. So I said, let me watch, let me study. I had time, so let me watch, let me study on what Peggy's going to talk about when she comes into our show. And I still wasn't prepared, you know.
It's hard to prepare for Peggy.
I know. Now I know what Getsy feels like.
Prepare for Peggy is by putting your helmet on.
Yeah.
That's not the only way you can prepare for Peggy.
You got to get the helmet with the Guardian cap. That's what you need.
You have to take Peggy's perspective to prepare for Peggy.
Yes. Because if everybody watches it, like I said, watches it on Captain, Captain can't run the ball.
Captain's yelling at her trying to get a word in edgewise. Like, Peggy! I'm saying this right now. She's the Mike Tyson of our goddamn Raider football knowledge and shit. She gonna hit you with the fucking left hook, and watch out for that uppercut, because when she gets that, you're gonna get CTE.
You're done. You're knocked down. You're done. Old school Mike Tyson. When you paid $50-something on pay-per-view for 30 seconds. So that was Miss Peggy. We appreciate her coming on. She comes on every 2 weeks onto our show. She'll be back, right? It's like she comes on at the perfect time of the season. She'll be here in the bye week to talk about.
I like what she said. I like what she said. The midweek, the mid-season breakdown of the team. I like that. I think that's what we got our show going already. She set it up for us.
Thank you. I have extra time to prepare the visuals and have everything. I gotta have a whole play sheet, you know. All right, bing. All right, bing. I got that bing. You know. So thank you, Miss Peggy, for coming on to the show. We always appreciate you coming on. And okay. Whoever was in class, hope you were taking notes. Because even she's not afraid to be like, you know. Because I've said I'm tired of Minshew.
Hey, look. You might think you have the answer, give the answer, and she's still going to throw that damn curveball and be like, well, what about and this? I agree with her. Yes, I've called Minshew out on a lot of shit, and she's right about some of what she's saying, but there's other aspects to all that. You know, it's not all on Minshew. The ones that are Minshew is when he throws behind, overthrows, stuff like that. That's it is. But at the same time, she's right. With that, when he's got somebody in his face and he can't set and throw the ball, that kind of shit does happen. So it's one of those, you know, you may feel a certain way, but she's going to school you and get you to think different and go, well, maybe I might be wrong on that. I might just be a little wrong.
I think Miss Peggy is a Jedi. You're wrong on that one. You know what? I think I am. Yes, I understand now. She has the Jedi mind trick.
The Jedi power.
But she knows, and she'll hit you with facts. It's not just opinion. She'll back it up with facts. That's what we try to do with the show, with the stats and facts. Bring it back. I don't know. I'm trying to rap here. But now we're trying to be good. Okay, we're trying to stay off the radar of YouTube. So we're not going to have the X screen. We're trying to keep the X screen on the low for now. Maybe when the Raiders win a game, we'll bring out the X screen. But we'll just talk about the game. We do have video because we want to break down those 4 plays on the goal line after the Morgan interception. But let's just talk about the game now. Asylum, you say there are positives to this. So coming into this game, a lot of folks were looking at Kansas City as that they were just going to come in and the phrase that Rich Eisen says, curb stomp us, because they're the champions. They were their last time they were in the stadium. They won Super Bowl against the Niners, and we're over here trying to figure out our own way and blah 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 and whatever. But this was up until the middle of the fourth quarter. This was a back and forth. A lot of 3 and outs, a lot of
I guarantee, Kansas City fans were sweating it until about the middle of that fourth quarter. They were sweating it. I mean, I was at my watch party in the bar, and I had Kansas City fans quiet in that bar. They didn't know I was running. They were talking shit before the game started, and then when that game started, as it went going, they got quieter, and then all of a sudden, then shit ended up changing and going. But again, I saw a bunch of positives out of this game. I really did. It wasn't. We were supposed, like you said, supposed to get curb stomped. This was supposed to be like a 40-something to 10 game, and it didn't happen.
And if you look at the numbers, 334 total yards to the Raiders, 228. I know that's kind of lopsided. 252 passing yards to the Raiders, 195. Yeah, off of 50. 82 rushing yards over 33. Now, I know our rushing yards is low, but for our defense to slow down the Chiefs' offense, and I know they're on to their third running back. They got a Kareem Hunt, who just came back off of retirement, or basically the last couple games. But the Raiders were able to keep him, basically contained. Chiefs do got 23 first downs to our 15. Third down conversion, they got 12 of 16. We got 6 of 13. Total play, 68 to 56. That's a big deal right there. We got sacked 5 times. Tyree got the 1 sack on Mahomes. The punts are even at 2. Our penalties were low, but a couple of them happened at the wrong time. 5 penalties for 32 yards. They had 8 for 55 yards, and a lot of their penalties were helping us get down the field, like that punt return. And then that dude, he had like 3 straight penalties. Like, first on special teams, number 2, I don't know his name, number 2 for the Chiefs, when he threw our returner outside. They got the 15-yard flag. And then he committed another foul right after that, and another foul right after that. So the Chiefs were basically trying to give us this game also. We do have the 1 fumble that a lot of folks says was the difference in the game, because that resulted in a touchdown. And then you have, because we had the interception, well, we could have had a touchdown. So I guess, what Peggy was saying, if he would have scored there, that evened out. That fumble probably wouldn't have happened. 32 minutes and 30 seconds of time of possession for the Chiefs to our 27 minutes and 30 seconds. So, I mean, watching the game, we were in this game. Mahomes didn't beat us. I know Kelsey had that touchdown, but Kelsey wasn't really beating us. This was just beat us. The refs surprisingly didn't beat us, but it was ourselves of once again getting our own way, and you have to point the finger on the offensive side, because the offense just looks like they don't know what they're doing.
Well, again, just like last year, up until AP took over, offense is struggling to score more than 20 points.
Yeah.
Offense is struggling to move the ball. They're disappearing. Like the first whatever scripted plays were looking great. Then we fall off, disappear, and then all of a sudden, don't get us wrong, we start coming back somewhere in the fourth quarter. But generally, it's been just a little too late when we do it.
Yeah.
We got to be able to, so it shows that we're making adjustments. We just got to make these adjustments earlier. And like you said, You know, and she made a great fucking point. Where's the fucking audibles?
Yeah. Yeah, because there was a lot of
I said
plays
it. Where's the
where
pre-snap motions? Where's the audibles? Pre-snap motions. Where's all this shit to, you know, the whole point of a pre-snap motion is so you can turn around and see what the defense has planned for you. If somebody moves around, okay, I know I got this. If they stay put, oh, I know I got this. Then you can audible to this and go. And you're not seeing any of that. Whether that's Minshew, whether that's Getsy, whether that's even, I'm not going to even put AP because AP's not on that part. But, you know, wherever that's at, we need to start making those changes. And I feel if we you know, this offensive line has potential. We've seen the potential. I just think we've got to start mixing and matching this offensive line to see what's going to work. And as you said, and I'm giving you all the credit, I know I stole the credit on Captain Show and I got the credit for it. You were in and out on it. And, you know, he gave me the credit. But we have to fucking switch over to power fucking blocking. I mean, you put JPJ at center, Meredith on, you know, on one side, Parham on the other side if he comes in healthy, you know, then you can turn around and just do the fucking power block. JPJ by himself is going to get down the field. He's going to fucking level whoever's the fuck in front of him. And that's perfect for what you want out of a center.
Yeah.
He could clear out that center and create a gap big enough for a goddamn, you know, 300-pound fucking line.
You know who I want?
I wanted to give it to refrigerator fucking Perry. And he gained goddamn 15 yards off of that.
You know who should be our offensive line coach? Maybe like next year. Let's bring Richie Incognito. Let him be offensive line coach.
Oh, hell yeah. I like that.
You know, little like attitude. Get them like this because when I became offensive line coach in my high school, I remember all the little tricks that we did when I played, and I instilled that into the kids. And I knew, like, hey, look, they can't see when you do this. Yeah, they can't see when you do that. So, hey, these are little tricks if you're getting beat. You know, punch to the gut. No, Joe.
I know, but no, what happened right there? They used to do the plaster of Paris around the thumb, so they could do a thumb jab in the fucking rib. Right,
the Bob Brown.
Yeah, you know, right into the ribs. Oh, he can't breathe now, can he? We'll be able to push him around now. You ain't getting through shit. I mean, and that's an incognito. I mean, I was so happy when I won that goddamn autographed jersey that I was wanting that jersey. Incognito was born to be a fucking Raider, just like JPJ. And I see a little bit of Incognito in JPJ. So, you know, I would be interested. I like that idea. Let's call up AP and Telesco and give them our idea. I'm sorry, not our idea. Give them your idea.
Incognito offensive line coach. Because this offensive line, see, they always say, well, defensive line, you know, you got to teach them attitude and all that, whatever, aggressive. But an offensive lineman has to be dirty, has to be nasty, has to be aggressive because they have to be able to be that wall, especially like on a pass block. A lot of their steps, they're taking that one step back and they have to stand up the defensive lineman who's already leaning forward, who their front foot is always, their first step is always going forward. So the offense line has to be nasty and has to find, look at, you said it all the time, you guys said it earlier. Max Crosby is getting his throat, he's getting chokehold every play. They're not calling that flag. Maybe once or twice because they got him, oh, yeah, okay, now we saw, yeah. But he's getting wrapped around the neck every single time he comes around the edge. They're blocking him around the neck. They're choking him, but no flag. So this offensive line has to play a little dirty sometimes.
I was just reading the comments. Even look at Tyrene's fucking sack. It was an illegal hand to the face. He literally had his fucking head bent all the way back, and he was still able to power through to get the sack. But still, that's the kind of shit that's happening, you know, to our players and shit. You have to be able to, you don't have it in there, but you know, I mean, that's the thing. You know, the little jabs, the little this, a little fucking throat punch, a little, you know, I know, it's all like this is what you're supposed to do, to the inside. But, a little shot to that soloplex, I missed the grab and get that shot to the soloplex, gets that defensive lineman thinking, do I want to do this every goddamn play?
Yeah.
Gets him leaning back just a little bit because he thinks that shot's coming. And now the leverage is now with the offensive lineman to be able to push him back instead of the other way around.
But see, and the other problem with this with the young ones in the offensive line is they allow the D tackle or the defensive end to extend his arm to the offensive lineman's shoulder pad or to his chest, where now the offensive lineman is stood up like this, and he's trying to get his leverage, but he's already stood up because he allows that D tackle or that defensive end, they got them long, they got that reach to go underneath. And as an offensive lineman, what I would used to do was when they try to get the arm down, it's and I learned this. There was a coaching seminar after the fact where he talked about grappling, but not to but just to knock the hands down. So right before the D tackle tries to engage into you, you knock the hands down, but you got to be quick enough to basically replace their arms with your arms and then control them. Because there's a lot of times when I was watching the film, I seen where the D lineman will come up and he already got that long reach, and all he's doing is pushing with one hand, and then he's just driving the offensive lineman into the quarterback or into the running back, or having that up there to where he can make his move, whether it's a swim move or whether it's an underneath rip move. So that's where the defensive lineman get control.
I'm gonna add a little bit to that there, not as in depth like that, but I'm gonna take the fucking playbook out of the Replacements, the movie The Replacements. Bring in a sumo wrestler as a consultant on how to do that. That's all they do. It's a lot of hand, going like this and leverage, and they're big guys, and these motherfuckers know how to move a body. So why not bring in a sumo wrestler to come in and say, hey, you want to be able to move your guy? This is what you need to do. When he does this, it's not a bad, thing. I know it's a movie and shit, but think about it. Who better when it comes to moving big men around than a sumo wrestler? And don't get me wrong, not all of them are fucking 400 or 500 pounds. Some of those motherfuckers are as big as these linemen, taking all these 400, 500 pounders and pushing them like they ain't nothing.
And they get low.
And when they get up and when they get a hold of that guy, it's one of the, even the hand slap, do whatever you can. Take up every resource you can. Doing what you're saying. Bringing in Richie Incognito to, even just, for some of the practices. A sumo wrestler, let's bring in every resource you got.
And Incognito, I was going to say Incognito, he was out there a few days during training camp, but put him on the staff. You got AP, you got all these former players.
Well,
Incognito.
I'll say this way. The offensive line coach we got from San Francisco, he could go. I know Peggy wants Sketsy gone. Put both of them in the same box and fucking ship them off, but that's what's going to happen. Again, I'm all for continuity right now, but I do get it. I do see it with Getsy. I don't want people thinking I don't see it. I'm not just trying to think if it's not working, it's not working. Let's get something else going. But let's get some consultants in there. Let's get some people in there who could help with the little things. Just like Crosby. Crosby has said that he's had so many different people help him with all his different moves. People complain about Tyree Wilson. All he has is the bull rush. Well, the bull rush works. And when you're the size of a Tyree Wilson and got the arms and the leverage of a Tyree Wilson, swim moves and shit don't always work. The spin move ain't necessarily always going to work. That bull rush is there for him. Tyree Wilson could move a 400-pound offensive lineman simply off a bull rush. We saw him do that as a rookie with Dallas.
Yeah.
He put that motherfucker in the quarterback's lap.
Yeah.
So we'll go Lynn Swan took ballet lessons. There was actually a few football players. All the little things that could fucking help, to go. So yeah. Can Tyree Wilson work a little bit more, with being able to, hand motions, be able to get whatever and utilize that bull rush? Yes. Max Crosby, learned different things. You hear things about defensive linemen who could bend. Not every defensive lineman or defensive end can bend. There's some that could bend, and you look at them saying, how the fuck can they make that turn and stay on their feet? You know, their ankles are like double jointed and they got this bend. But somebody had to teach them how to do that. They didn't just fucking come in and just be able to bend. You know, they had to learn how to do that shit. And see, I'm telling you, sumo.
Well, as we're talking about the offensive line,
that's all.
we're talking about the offensive line. We have a new segment. That's what we do. We bring in new segments. That's what we do. And I want to break down because I kept looking at those 4 plays that when we were on the goal line. After this play right here took us to the 3-yard line, 3 yards away from the end zone.
That was a half a step away from being a safety.
I know that the holding penalty. Yeah, right. Like right at the line, he let go. I said, "Oh, I thought that was my safety right there. Give us the ball after 2 points."
That was half a step away from being a safety.
Yes, and then he got the interception. But soon after, 2 plays later.
Sure.
So
I know everyone knows Anna. Anna even took down a 300-pound guy. I mean, come on. It's all about the leverage.
Yeah. And that was the one thing that grappling coach, because when I became offensive line coach in high school, you know, I wanted to learn new tricks to teach the kids, because we were a small team going against all these other, you know, bigger players in our league at the time, in the high school league the high school league that I was in, or that I was coaching in. So I wanted to learn new tricks for the kids to use to go against these players who are 50 pounds, 75 pounds heavier than them, 2 feet taller than them, you know. So that was one of the things, you know, was he knew little tricks to do to basically have your opponent either lose their balance, where you basically transfer, you take their balance away and you drive them away, or, you know, like shut down their strength for you to control them off the line of scrimmage. So, you know, little tricks of the trade playing offensive line, that's what these guys need to learn, especially the rookies, because DJ Glaze is promising. He just has to, you know, polish his skills, and JPJ ain't afraid to get his he's playing too rough, coach. You need to tell him to back up, to relax.
But I think he's perfect in center. I think we just put Andre Dre. Okay, I get it. And even Peggy wrote it in here and said they committed to James. Okay, put him in a different spot. Put him as guard, tackle, maybe. I don't know where else he could go. But JPJ is JPJ is like the Jim Otto. You know he's going to be in there going, and he's going to be fucking, or even incognito, but as a center, he's going to be that nasty. He's going to be able to get you. And I think that's going to help with the run game, because you're going to be able to go over center, especially when it's 1st and goal on the 3. Having JPJ in there and having that push at center, you know, even with the quarterback sneak, is going to be there. The nastiness that he has is going to benefit you. But I just feel he's just playing at the wrong spot. They got him in the wrong position.
Yeah. And if we're committed to James, we've been committed longer to excellence, okay? That's one of our phrases. But let's go into this segment, because we got to break down these 4 plays that we were wondering. Yeah, this is mine right here. I got my own segment. I don't know. I hope I remember, because my telestrator that I got this idea from Raider Homer. Shouts out to Raider Homer. I couldn't put it live, so I had to pre-record all my drawings, and I got to remember what I said. I can remember what I said, just in the order of when I said it. So here we go. I need you to get the intro. It's the last video on the side. So here we go. Our new segment. We're gonna break down those 4 plays. Here we go. Asylum. Hit that intro.
Wait, oh, I'm sorry. Which intro am I looking for?
Down in the trenches. The last video.
One thing you got to understand is the only way to play this game is you got to get down in the dirt and get nasty. Let's go.
All right, now hold on.
Get nasty. I like that.
We need some music too. You know, my favorite right here. All right, now it is first and goal. KC3. We got the momentum. We just got the interception from Morig. And what are we gonna do? This is what we do. Now, at first, I wanted to when they got to the line of scrimmage, I said, play action pass, have Minshew roll out to the left, and just aim for that pylon and just run it in, because Jacoby Myers is going from the offensive right to left. He can be your personal protector. All you gotta do is just sneak it in, ball right there, hit the pylon, touchdown. But let's see what they actually did. Here we go. Stuffed. Now,
but we got to the one.
We got to the one, and yeah, but I want aggression right here. Now, right here, wow, this thing is very loud. See, this is Jacoby Myers in motion right there. Let me lower this music kind of a little bit right here. It's loud on my ear. Okay, play. Now, the ball is snapped right at the point where he crosses over to Minshew. Now, this is me drawing what I wanted. I wanted him to go across, and then have Minshew follow him. That's what I wanted. But this is what actually happened. Sorry. Jacoby Myers, he goes over there. He pulls that line or that safety to follow him over. So he's out of the picture. This linebacker over here, well, he's basically the Mike right here. He starts kind of shifting over too. So he basically puts himself out of the play. So that's what that motion is doing when Jacoby Myers comes. And right here with the offensive line, this is what I wanted to see, or this is what I thought should happen. You got to make sure you double down on Jones right there. Get that guy out with the right tackle, and then just kind of wall out these two guys right here, and that would be the seam where Madison will go up. But that is not what happened here. See, I left a lot because I was in a deposit, but here we go. So this is my first time doing it, guys, right? So if it was live, it'd be better. So here's the player right here. You see where the linemen go. It's not what I wanted, but you have James right here. He is, where's the pause button? Okay, so you got the left guard and the left tackle. They neutralize that end. You have James on Jones. Oh, well, you got that too. They're all taken care of. You got James on Jones. He's going to ride him back there, which leaves that middle linebacker 32 in the picture.
I agree with where you're going here, because if he fakes this handoff here, that middle linebacker is going to go right up that hole.
Yes.
And Madison, going to get taken. I see where you're going with this. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. My bad.
Well, yeah, and that's what I wanted, because then you have Jacoby Myers up there. He could be your personal protector. If that safety 20 gets in the way, Jacoby Myers can cut off.
You had Tucker out wide to take out that corner.
Mm-hmm.
Sit there and be able to block the corner out there on that same side. I see where you're going with this. I see where you're going. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
Now, that's not what they did, which I wish it would have did. But also right here, and I believe I highlighted it. You see right here, JPJ, him and Miller got that tackle. Now, JPJ's head is behind the tackle, so he can see number 23 is right there. Now, what JPJ should have did was, once that guy was neutralized, which Miller was basically had him, he should have bounced out to the next level and blocked that guy out, which would have left that trail right up the middle. See, he should have bounced out. Yeah. He got that guy out the way, and then that would have left that window for Madison to run through. As it plays. Now, if this is a zone offense, that means the running back should know, okay, I got to find where my window is at. Now, JPJ saw him late, so he went to go chase him to basically cluster him into the middle. Now, I don't know. After that, this is where I got confused, because See, if he comes, if a JPJ, yeah. See right there, there's your hole right there. If JPJ would have came and blocked that guy and just pushed him that way, let him go with his momentum, Madison could have been right there, up the middle. I mean, up that little hole, and would have scored. But Madison was still doing some little dribbling or whatever he was doing. He didn't attack the hole, and then he tried to come inside because he saw that 23. And then now everyone's in the middle, and we only gained 2 yards on that one.
So is that a play? So pause that real quick. So my question here, for some of us who ain't offensive line and all this shit here, savvy, is that an execution problem or is that a play calling problem?
And that's where I was confused because it was a slight execution problem. One, the offensive lineman, there's no communication on who's getting who. Two, they're already shifting because it's a zone offense, so they're shifting towards their blocks instead of just power blocking forward because we only need 3 yards. So that's where I was just kind of like, was this just the wrong type of call for 3 yards to go? Or is it our offensive linemen that are just not engaging quick enough to the blocks? But if you're in a zone blocking, I think you got to let the other guys, the defensive linemen, shift and then you adjust to them. Instead of in a power blocking where you just attack the guy in front of you. We only need 3 yards. We don't need to go and drive him all the way down the street. Just get him neutralized and have that running back just go with the pile and push him forward. So that's where I kept playing this play over and over and over and over and over again. And I'm all like, is it execution or is it just the wrong type of play style? Is it the wrong play? So because that Jacoby Myers, he shifted those guys out from behind the line of scrimmage. So all you really have to do is deal with the defensive lineman. But then we still went up the middle. And I was like, okay, well, now with that, the offensive line should have adjusted to who's in front of them. And if that's the case, well, like I said, JPJ saw that guy late. He tried to get him in. Madison should have came and bounced on the backside of JPJ and maybe could have been able to squeeze in through that little area, but everything was shifted. So that's why it was hard to say, was it execution? Was it the wrong play calling, the wrong type of style of play in that certain situation? So that's where I was just like, I didn't know. So that was first down. We gained 1 yard. We gained 2 yards. Okay, second and goal on the KC1. Now, here's what happened. You have Bowers who shifted over and now he's the lead blocker. But we get stuffed. No gain on that one. Let's see what happened. Look at JPJ just right on the top of it. Now, here's what happened. Or here's what I think should have happened. So Madison's going to try to go up that middle. That's where the little opening is at right there. You should have had, which is it's still James. James should have blocked out. You got to always double team Jones because he's Jones. But then you have these guys take the guys in front of you, just straight power block. So basically it's just straight man power block. And you'll have that opening right there up the middle because we only need 1 yard. Just stand them up and then have Madison squeeze in, put the ball over the line of scrimmage. Over the goal line, break the play, and there you go. So you have Bowers who shifted over because he's going to be the lead blocker in this play. But when Bowers shifts over, he also takes, because this guy number 6, he's watching Bowers. When Bowers shifts over towards the middle, that guy number 6, he follows Bowers. So now you just brought an extra guy into that box. Which I thought that was bad play design or the bad play for this situation. Yeah, even though Bowers is going to be the lead blocker.
So this was bad play design then. This is a bad play call.
That's a bad play call because Bowers is not coming straight forward to attack the hole. He has to stop, then redirect, and then try to come. But at that time, the offensive linemen are getting pushed back. So there goes Bowers. That brings him up the middle or into the box. Bowers sets up to try, and be that lead blocker. It's going to pause a couple times. So you see where the offensive linemen are engaging. See, they're double teaming Jones right there. And then you have the offensive lineman taking the guy man up. Now, the problem with this one is Jacoby Myers goes to that. See, there's where it's supposed to go. And that's where Madison's supposed to follow. Now, what happened was Jacoby Myers, he was supposed to get number 23. Trying to remember if I did it yet. Okay, so here we go. Myers was supposed to get 23. But 23 already had that angle because that's what they've been doing all game, was they've been lining two guys up against Glades on his outside. So Myers should have cut him off, at least cut off his legs where he falls over because he's the one that makes the play. Bowers couldn't really do nothing much because Bowers had to redirect his momentum towards the middle. He's not coming in powerful to push that power forward. He's trying to shift his momentum forward, and then that right there gets stuffed, and I believe we lose. That was a no gain. So it was a Myers didn't get that guy out the way, but still.
I feel. Pause this real quick. Okay, I feel, and I'm going to ask you here. What happens if they would have brought Bowers? Bring Bowers in motion like they did, brought him into the fullback position in the I back. For that play, would that have helped?
I believe if they would have shifted him over and they seen whatever, I would have figured there'd be an audible for him to come back out and then maybe play action and then go to the tight end. But if he's gonna still stay as a run, they would have had a better shot because he could at least help push that pile forward. And not try to stop and then try to throw his momentum. If he was going straight ahead,
you're motioning into the fullback position, and now you got an I back position. Would that have been a better call?
I back formation.
The I formation. Would that have been better than what happened there? In your opinion,
I would say that they would have had a slightly better chance. Myers would have just made sure to cut off that number 23's legs, at least to slow him down. Because he's the one that made the initial hit. So execution and play calling, or that bad play call that.
This one I'll call play calling, but that's why I was asking about the I formation instead, because the fullback or the I formation is a loss, or they're bringing a lot of people in to do it. And only I asked about Bowers because he was the one in motion. We know he could block, and he's done that before coming in fullback position in college. And go. So that's why I'm asking you, the professional lineman, would that have helped in this position, you think? Or in this situation, being on the 1 yard line and then having Madison follow behind Bowers into the end zone, basically over the back of Bowers into the end zone.
Yeah, and the Chiefs have I believe there was a number 2 rushing defense. So you that's why I want to play action. I want to misdirection like they do like the Chiefs do to their opponents. But if we're gonna try to go head to head with them, doing the zone blocking is not gonna work. We have to go straight man and just how they say mano y mano in the trenches, which both those times you've seen didn't work. Now here we go. Let's rewind. Okay, so here we go. Next play. Got to go through this play. So, that didn't work out. So, here we go. We're back at the 1. So, no gain. Back at the 1.
Look right here. Lobby, just, if you can pause it real quick. If you look where Bowers is at and going, he's face first into the goal line right there. And if Madison was right on his back, he could have slid right over him, into the end zone. Like I said, I was just asking. Sorry, don't mean to. I'm trying to
Okay, 3rd and goal on the KC 1. So now we're over here trying to run sideways, and that gets stuff for a 2 yard. Oh no, for a 2 yard loss because we're now. So as you look on this one right here,
I formation
now. So now we're trying to do I formation because we're trying to. You assume we're going to power it in. Because we got a fullback now, who Bowers back there. So here we go. Now the way I would have did it was You know, that's where you're trying to aim for. You got 1 yard. That's all you're trying to aim for. Now we're in a straight, under center, true I formation. You got to go, and once again, is it right? Yes. You got to go and double team. You got to go on Jones, basically wedge them two out. Them two nose tackles out. So get him out the picture. And then Meredith and DJ Glaze, they get the guys in front of them. And you have Miller getting the guy in front of him and just straight push, power running. But no, Madison, the play is for him to go that way. And all those guys just blow up the play because we're taking too long for this run play to develop to get 2 yards. Bowers goes in, but see, because we're doing this zone blocking lateral movement, all these offensive linemen are getting blown up. And they're getting pushed back into the running back.
And right here, I mean, a cut there could have worked. But I was going to say, look at JPJ on the ground, and his guy that he should be on right now is free.
Yeah. But see, right here, like you said, and that's what I drew up. Okay, well, if we're going to cut back, because that's what the zone offense is supposed to do, you cut back, and then there's an opening. You just got to beat that guy who is right by Miller. Just right gotta outrun that guy.
Yeah,
but
I see him.
Yeah, but
I was gonna say they can't see my pointer. I was trying to help point. I must stay out of this.
So he continues to go towards the right, and all the Chiefs are just over there, basically clustering up all the Raider players, all the blockers, and we end up losing those 2 yards and we're back to the 3 yard line on 4th and 3. So now we decide, okay, this is our formation. Nobody in the backfield. We're going to go straight pass. And this is just the pocket just collapsed right when the ball was snapped because Casey knew this.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question here. With what I just saw there, right? You said they're going to go for a straight pass. Do you think that may not have been a pass, but a called quarterback run with the way how quickly Minshew took off?
But it's hard to really tell because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys that's up on the line of scrimmage, and then you have that guy number 20 on the left side. He's basically, that's all they kept doing all game was line up that linebacker, playing that linebacker position. And all I had to do was basically wedge out everybody and form that pocket. But because they knew there's no one back there, so let's just pin our ears back and attack. And they basically, did they bring the house on this one? No, they didn't have to. They just rushed forward. And Glaze, now see, you have that opening right here, right where Minshew, right there. And that's where Minshew was trying to go. But, all these guys, they got their man. But this guy right here that I'm circling, he's the one that pushed back Meredith. And he was the one that ended up making the play. It's hard to see what was the play because you don't know if it's execution or just the wrong play. Whether that's execution on the offensive line not blocking the D tackles, or if that was supposed to be a run design play. But you're giving up yards to try to gain those 3 back. It's like when you go to a casino and you lose $20, so you bet 40 to try to get that $20 back, and now you just lost $60. And that's what we're doing if we're going to use the Las Vegas, yeah. So
yeah, I like that analogy.
And that's what happened on those plays right there. So that's what I saw, and I told you I kept running through these plays over and over again, and just trying to see, is it the play calling or is it the execution? And from what I saw, it's hard to tell because they're not executing the play, but was that the right play call for what the situation was? For what the defense that was in front of them, how they were lined up. There's no one, making adjustments on the offensive line to show, hey, I got 2 guys, DJ Glaze. I got 2 guys to my right, As offensive linemen, we call these plays. I mean, we call these things that we see. When we go up to line of scrimmage, we see how they initially look. And then if we're making how he was making all the motions, how these guys are shifting. But you still have to keep your head forward, but still look around you to see, who's still in front of me that might be rushing forward. Who was my threat and who was the next threat for me to bounce off. So, and then that's me as a high school coach. These are NFL players who are going against more, who should be used to going against more complex rushing attacks from the defensive linemen and, pass rushing attacks, defensive linemen and linebackers. So that's where I was just like, I don't know. It's hard to tell. So that right there was, use my intro as my outro, please. That right there was.
One thing you got to understand is the only way to play this game is you got to get down in the dirt and get nasty. Let's go.
So that was down in the trenches,
Give
right there.
Applause in there. You deserve that. Was a hell of a breakdown right there. Good job on that. I hope I didn't fuck you up with my questions. I was just, trying to get a non-offensive lineman's point of view on some of this.
No, it was all good because that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to teach. And like I said, even I was all like, hold on, wait. Because I'm like, every time I kept looking, I was looking at feet work. And the offensive lineman on the 1 yard line, their first step is not forward at the defender. Their first step is sideways, like at an angle sideways to I don't want to say initiate the zone blocking, but they're just, it's hard to tell. If I'm only trying to get 1 yard, I just want to drive forward. All those times on the blocking sled, that right there is why we do the blocking sled. Is to push those guys forward.
That should have been straight. Instead of zone blocking at the 1 yard line, it should have been nothing but power blocking. Just moving forward, move that pile, and give your running back a chance to get into the end zone.
And that's where it gets confusing because AP, he keeps preaching, I want, a run game. I want a power run game. I want attitude, ill intent, all those phrases he uses. But this scheme, the way it's being used, whether it's by this offensive lineman or if it's the play caller or if it's whatever it is, that's not power. That's not ill intent. That's not attitude. That's a finesse because you're not engaging the guy and using your strength to counter his strength. You're trying to catch him and then trying to ride him out. But that doesn't, on certain situations, you got to go power on power because they're coming forward. They're not coming sideways. They're coming at you. So you got to go and clash with them.
Two bulls. It's like two bulls just going at it, or two. We'll use goats because I raise goats and shit. It's when the goats are going back and bashing their heads together. That's what you want. Just power to power.
And that's where it's like, well, no wonder we're not really pushing the line forward because our linemen are not pushing the line forward. It's showing it. It looks like it's called for them to reach, to shift. Like, come with me, guys. We're going to go this way. So my running back can go that way. But because everything gets all clustered, now the running back is trying to find that hole. But now because we're not engaging the defenders, we're trying to direct traffic. One guy decides, and everyone knows, Bay Area traffic, not everyone goes in the line. One idiot wants to come in and cut you off. And that's what we're doing, cutting off. And now collision. Our running back, 1 yard loss, 2 yard loss, especially with someone like Zamir White should have been up in the middle. Zamir White should have been in that play and just go forward and would have got that touchdown. But like on a lot of there was a couple plays where Zamir White, they're having him trying to run sideways. That's not Zamir White's game. We can have, like 2002, we can have a Tyron Wheatley and a Charlie Garner. One who can pound it up the middle and then one who can work the edges, whether it's running the ball and then turning or getting out in the open, catch the ball, and then take off with it. But you're trying to force these guys to do like you're supposed to play to your players' strengths. Yeah. And that's the problem what McDaniels had. And that's what we're seeing again. So either Getsy has to learn to adjust to the players he has, which are already going to go into game week number 9. So I don't know. My personal opinion, I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe in the bye week, maybe. But he either has to adjust to that, or we have to Bo Hardegree it and just switch it up and do what we got to do, because that's not working. Well, not that. We got to switch the whole playbook around in the middle of the season and try to get some positive yards and running game, because that's what we did last year. So that's what I took out of watching those plays.
Isn't this about the week 9? Isn't that when AP took over?
Well, it was Halloween. It was Halloween night is when McDaniels got fired on November 1st. The day after is when AP got his promotion. So we are nearing that anniversary. Now, tomorrow is the anniversary of McDaniels, and that seems so long ago, doesn't it? That seems like that was a long time ago.
It does now, yeah. It feels like it was, yeah. Oh well.
That's what I see. I hope that made sense, and I hope I made sense.
No, it was great, and like I said, I hope I didn't fuck shit up with the questions and trying to go and everything. But you broke that down. Like I said, you should do the applause one, because you did a hell of a job right there. There you go. That deserves that applause right there for breaking that shit down and putting up with me.
That was down in the trenches, where now, we're going to start trying to look at what's really going on with the offensive line and the play calling to see, is it execution? Is it play calling? What is it? As right there, like I said, we don't know, because it just looks confusing for that type of situation. You want attitude, just drive the guy in front of you. I just need 2 yards. That's it. And there's a famous saying that Vince Lombardi said in the championship game. I think it was the Ice Bowl, when he told Bart Starr, "If we can't gain 1 yard, we don't deserve to win this game." It's not the exact quote, but it's basically the premise of it. I'm paraphrasing. If we can't gain 1 yard, we don't deserve to win this game. And they went up the middle. I think it was Bart Starr. I think he was the one. I think he did the quarterback sneak, like you said. Minshew could have went up the middle on that one, but they started off in shotgun, which now you're giving up about 3 yards from your line of scrimmage. So now instead of 3 yards to go, we got 6 yards, because that's what the ball is going to start moving forward. If you're going to be in shotgun, play action, do something different. Throw the ball or roll out and run it in. If not, straight under center, ball over the line of scrimmage. Ball over the plane, break the plane over the goal line, and score. Let's stop trying to be too cute when all we gotta do is be nasty. Okay, stop trying to be cute when it counts for us to be nasty in situations like that.
Can't you just be overthinking everything and get back to simplicity?
Yeah, and that could be the case, but it's like, I don't want to say it's common sense, but there is sometimes where you try to, it was common sense, but there are where you overthink it, you're trying to trick them, but you actually trick yourself. That phrase. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is he overthinking the shit and making plays overly complicated when they just need to be broke down and be simple?
Yeah. Those look overcomplicated. Just if you're not gonna play action and misdirect, then get these guys straight up. We're gonna do this man on man. My guys, and what's coming. That's the attitude. Hey, we're gonna go up the middle. Can you stop us? That kind of attitude. Well, I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna come up to one hole right here. Okay, coming up the one hole. That's the left side between the center and the guard. We're coming up the one hole. So come and stop us.
It's like a catcher telling the batter, "I'm going to throw." He's going to throw a fastball.
Yeah.
Dare you to hit it.
Yeah. So we're doing too many complicated things, and football is not that complicated. Even though the offenses are complex and the defenses are complex, the game is still a simple game. Yes, fundamentals. So that right there is where we could have scored 7, and it would have been a different story. We'd probably be talking about a different type of game, a victory. Chiefs are going to be, and not continuously bringing up the puppet. So that right there.
I believe that was talked about before the game, during the game. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. And I hate to say it. I don't hate to say it, but I'm glad to be able to say it. Mahomes' little comment, and I told you before it was going to come out, and some people are going to say this. When Mahomes said, "Oh, that'll get handled when it got handled," it did get handled. Mahomes didn't handle the puppet situation. I don't care what anybody, what the Chiefs have to say. That situation was not handled. We beat ourselves.
Well, good thing they're in our division because we get the rematch back on their home on Black Friday. Hopefully, we can turn that into a silver in Black Friday. Yeah, saw what I did there? Saw what I did there right there? Let me give myself this. Yeah, so right there, we can go to their home. We ruined their Christmas. We ruined their Christmas.
Now we get to ruin their Black Friday?
Now we get to ruin their Black Friday and their Thanksgiving. So we ruined their Christmas. You were there.
I was there.
For those who said there was no Raider fans, look at all the Raider fans all there. That was in there. That looked like Allegiant Stadium. So
that's just on the first fucking level. Not to mention all the other levels where there was Raider fans too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I had to go correct that. I made sure I corrected that one.
Yes, if anybody who watched Captain's show last night, Asylum was on there, and he had to let a certain Kansas City fan know, no, the Raider fans are in there. Raider fans travel too. Don't let Allegiant Stadium fool you.
Raider fans in the stadium that game. Oh yeah, we were.
Yeah, don't let Allegiant Stadium fool you. Yeah, we lost the game 27-20, and we're on a 4-game losing streak. And everyone's jumping ship and already talking about next year and draft this and we need to do that and da-da-da-da.
And calling for everybody's head. I mean, I've been hearing AP, Luke Getzey, fucking even Telesco. We need to fucking fire Telesco. The GM fucking sucks. But yet all we talk about is the fucking first 3 rounds of his draft. His first 3 draft picks. And that's all we've been talking about. So I don't know why people are calling for Telesco's head. Oh, I know, because we didn't move up and get Jaden Daniels when the damn Redskins weren't going to fucking trade the pick anyways.
Yeah. And that's the problem was going to happen. Well, look what he did against the Bears. See? And then if he would have had Jaden Daniels, then Kingsbury would have been here because look what they're doing over there with the Commanders. Yeah. But are you willing to give up Max Crosby for Jaden Daniels? Some folks probably would say, yeah, because offense wins championships or whatever people will try to say. I know a lot of folks.
Okay, so you give up Max Crosby. Do you get a Christian Wilkinson? Does fucking a Malcolm Kuntz stay? Does a Robert Spillane possibly not sign an extension? Which right now, I'm sorry, if it doesn't happen at the end of this bye, Tom Telesco, I'm telling you now, get off your ass. Get that man his extension now. Because I thought I segue, see how I'm doing this. This man has made history being the 19th player in the NFL to have 10 plus tackles in at least 6 of the first 8 games of a season. Where he joins his head coach as one of those 19 people.
Mm-hmm.
So, Spillane has stepped up. Spillane has earned a contract extension. And don't wait till the end of the season. Don't give him the fucking chance to even have a toe out the door. Solidify him now for the next 4 fucking years.
Yeah, we got the money. And you seen it was a scary moment over there on the Chiefs goal line, or when the Chiefs were, in their goal line offense, and that when they scored their first touchdown, and we thought, oh no, we lost Spillane now because his leg got twisted.
He was literally being carried off the field by two assistants because he couldn't put weight on that fucking leg. And yes,
comes back 2 plays later.
Oh shit! Not Spillane.
Yeah.
Those were the first. I said it, and then he comes back out after that drive was over. The defense goes back out on the field. That man was back on the field playing like he never got hurt.
Yeah, he wasn't hobbling around. He probably just got some kind of leg stinger or something. Probably, but I mean, it was scary.
Some shit. Oh, it was. And then you look at it, and when you watch the replay, it looked bad.
Yeah,
it looked bad.
And we already got all these guys, our starters. We keep showing it over and over again. Kuntz, who never got a chance to play this year, already out for the season. Marcus Epps, he's out for the season, ACL. Luke Masterson, he has the knee. Don't know if he's coming back. Christian Wilkins, who wants to come back. He's trying, but most likely probably out. So, and these are our defensive starters. So, everyone,
And we had 2 offensive ones there, 2 big ones, Michael Mayer and O'Connell. But that's the thing. I mean, yeah, it looked like the injury bug struck again. Thank God. Spillane's got that antidote, whatever it was, and he said, "Fuck that bug, I'm coming back out."
Just put some Neosporin on it. All right.
He sprayed some Raid on him, said, "Okay, that bug ain't gonna bite me today. Let's go."
No, you don't spray Raid. You spray Black Flag. That's what you spray.
That's Raid. Black Flag is Raid. Yes.
There's 2 different. There's Raid and Black Flag.
Black Flag is Raid.
No, it's not. 2 different brands. 2 different brands, K. $50. $1,000, K. I'm joking. But yeah, so that right there. Are there anything else? Anything else that we need to cover? I think that's it, right, for now.
I think that's it.
I think that's it for now. We are 12 minutes over. We started on time, so yeah. And you know what? Put Anna in there.
Yeah,
Anna got attitude. She'll go over there and make some plays. I know Anna will.
She'll power block. She'll take on that fucking defensive lineman.
Now forget that. I want her to have the ball. Anna, come downhill.
Put her in as running back.
Yeah, come downhill like Bo Jackson. Okay. Anna can be like Zach Crockett, busted the line and just do the whole thing like that. So. Thank you, Anna. Yes, Anna gets a patch.
That's a sticker, not a patch.
The starter kit. But all right, I guess that is our show. That is our show for today. We will be back on Friday to talk about the Bengals and that matchup. The Bengals don't look all that great, but we got to make sure that, how AP said a few weeks back, we got to make sure we take care of the Raiders. And that's what we need to do. If we can minimize the mistakes, neutralize the turnovers, and realize the play calling, we'll get a victory out there. The last time I think we played the Bengals was that playoff game, wasn't it? Over there on their field. So
yeah, the Phantom Whistle.
The Phantom Whistle. So we will talk about this matchup coming up right before the bye week. And that'll be on Friday. So with that, we want to say thank you to Miss Peggy for coming on to the show. Appreciate you. And for everybody who was in the comments, And thank you for those who have subscribed, like I said, who have subscribed to us, to this channel. Just a week alone, we jumped up like 50, but almost not like 50, like 40, like 40, no, like 30, whatever, like 30 subscribers. So
Now
we appreciate that.
Like a running game. No, I like the 50. Hold on, we're going back to 50.
We're going to 50. Yeah, we're going to 50. So you want to say thank you to everybody, and also because I want to do this. Oh, right here. See, shouts out to Jessica. What up, babe? Hey, hold on. Where's my button? I gotta do this. Cringe. All right. All right.
I'm thinking you got those labeled now. You got them down.
Exactly. I know now what buttons to push. Especially to piss her off. All right. With that said, I want to say thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, from the comments. Thank you, everybody, for watching the show. Thank you for those who will watch the show after the fact. We appreciate when the views go up. We do the show for you guys. We want to make sure that we are on our stuff, know our stuff, smoke our stuff, and talk our stuff. Yeah, because my mom watches too. So
smoke our shit and talk our shit.
Because we know our
shit.
There you go. My mom watches, so I can't say certain words. I don't care. Okay, I have respect for my mom. Okay, I can't. Simon, on the other hand,
I got respect for my mom, but you know what?
It's disrespectful if you don't cuss.
If I'm not cussing, then everyone thinks I'm sick and everything else, and something's not right. The universe is going to end. The sun's going to implode and all this other shit. So,
yeah,
it's expected out of me.
Yes. They were like, if he ain't cursing, that means Goodell got a hold of him. Ah! No. All right. So, all right. With that said, I want to say thank you. See you guys on Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. I did it. All right. All right. All right, everybody. Let's just relax. Like Anna said, we got patience. If this is your first time as a Raider fan, hey, just follow along with everybody else. Okay, it's like we were watching Beetlejuice. Okay, we got the handbook. Okay, we got the handbook. Okay, just 150 years of this. All right, that's it. Goes by like that. All right. So take care, everybody. Happy Halloween. Huh?
It goes by before you even know it.
Before you even know it, we got a championship. I got gray hair now. All right, so
I got a couple. I might have to dye my shit.
It is what it is. No, I call these Raider scars. Okay, this is my.
I'm gonna tell you how long I've been doing this shit. Then
stressing out, strung out. Everyone's mad. Time out. We got a tank, and then when we lose, what's going on, man? This sucks. Pick a side, okay? Anyways, take care. Take care. See you guys on Friday. Talk about the Bengals. And keep liking, sharing, watching, and subscribing. All right, Asylum. That's it. And everybody, see you on Friday.
All you other NFL teams, your tailgates are weak. Your teams are weak. We might be down right now, but it doesn't take away the history. And all you Raiders out there need to know your fucking history of who the fuck you playing for and where the fuck you're playing. Damn it. Oh, and by the way, I won my last cage fight. Again, I'm still undefeated. And you NFL motherfuckers out there that you think you want some, come on and get some anytime.